How exciting.
Yay, we're here.
Yay.
Hi, Liz. Hi, Judy.
It's been so long since we've seen each other, right?
I know. It seems like it was just last Wednesday.
I know. And so we were just talking about how much sleep have we had since the conference until now.
Right.
Not enough.
Nope.
Not enough. And there was the whole time change, and there was the daylight savings time that happened. Lots of things that.
Lots of things. Plus, did anybody else have a 14-hour workday yesterday?
Oh, so it was the great catch-up. Is that what you're saying?
What was that?
The great catch-up?
The great catch-up. We're in the middle of the great catch-up today. And so it's been great to connect with my clients. They all missed me. I missed them. Hi, Ingrid. Ingrid just joined us. We missed Ingrid. We missed you last week.
Yeah, and Penny.
And Penny.
Oh, that's true.
Penny was there. Penny was there. I saw Penny.
I didn't see Penny, but I did see Ingrid's partner, so she was there.
Yes. Okay. Vanessa was there, and yes, Vanessa had Penny. So, hey, Laura Chapman just joined us. Hi.
Yes, Vanessa was in that front sitting area where all of the, it feels like risers in that front entry of the conference center. So I got a chance to. I
think next year I'm going to bring a mat and I'm going to lay down. Like, because when I went to the Intuit headquarters for the hackathon, they have those risers in building 20, and they had mats, and people were actually like laying on them and sleeping. And I was like, that, could be.
So you like those yoga mats kind of fold up, and they even have like a Velcro and an arm strap.
Was it last year that Intuit gave out yoga mats? They had like yoga.
Okay, that's
been
like more than
yoga
last
class
year.
with Esther, and it was really fun.
I think that's been 4 years ago. Were you there, Judy, that year?
I remember the mats. Whether or not I was there, I can't remember, but I do remember the yoga mats.
Yeah, it feels like it's been several years since then. Yeah. This year was the backpack. So I have to say what happened was we got a backpack, Heather and I, a little early because we were there a day early. Oh, I'm zooming in, zooming out. And I told Anne, do you want my backpack? And truly meant it. But then the next day she got one and I was like, yay.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah.
We have Monique has joined us. Christine. Hi, Christine. I love Christine. I love you all, but I love Christine. And then Dan has joined us, and Rita. Hey, everybody. She's saying the sound is echoing. So if it's echoing, you may want to put on your mute button. Sometimes that'll cause that to echo. See if that helps. So we have over 100 slides today, so I think we need to get started, Liz.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I think that we have and I just want to say that at least half of them are pictures from QuickBooks Connect, so don't panic too much, but we've got a lot. So first of all, welcome everybody. Like we were chit-chatting, but welcome to the QB Appy Hour. So it's a fun monthly webinar all about QuickBooks and the apps ecosystem. And today we're super excited. We're going to talk about apps to manage 1099s, and we have Judy McCarthy here with us. We're so excited from Client Hub. So we're also going to take a peek at Client Hub, and we're going to raise a toast a little bit later. I'm super excited about our drink. It looks delicious, so I can't wait to have some of that.
I'm thirsty.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead out and share out my screen.
Okay.
And then we're going to jump into some slides. So awesome. Let's see. So there's our lovely slide. So yes, today is apps to manage 1099s with Client Hub. So you guys can see us, but that's Liz and me, and we both are accountants that use QuickBooks. I have a practice in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and my firm, and Liz's firm too, but we should just say that we have basically the same life, but you're Liz and I'm Heather.
Well, I think the thing that's so valuable about this is that, really we are like most of the people here.
Right.
We've got our own practices and we do our thing every day with our clients, and we believe in this world of we've got to use apps. And so here we all are talking about apps and, groovy style with drinks.
I had an interesting thing that happened today. I met with two of my clients. One client we've implemented, and so we're doing all of that post-implementation stuff where we're tweaking things, and we're finding places where during all the testing it worked really well, and now that it's live, like there's little things that we didn't anticipate because that always happens. So that was a fun conversation today to kind of work through some of that and kind of figure it out, and we found some new opportunities. And then I had another client, and it was really interesting because I started working with her like 6 months ago, and I actually was doing some research for an app, and I found an accountant that is the perfect fit for her. And so I called her up, and it was the weirdest conversation. I'm like, I love you and I love working with you, but I really think this is actually going to be a better fit for you. And so we have a meeting with her tomorrow. But she's like, and she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, I really feel like this whole firm is like meant. Like, I feel like they're a perfect fit. So they
That's fantastic.
They niche in her industry. And so I really feel like that would be a better fit for her. So I'm excited for her.
Well, okay. So this is a fantastic thing too. So Ingrid, you just happened to be in our audience today. So yay. But I had a conversation with a client who he's been one of our clients for the last 4 or 5 years, but they are a travel agency entertainment business that's located in Paris. And so we're going to have a conversation with them on Thursday and see if they need to transfer to Ingrid since that's her specialty.
Absolutely. And I think where I was kind of going with this, Liz, is that, it's right. It's all about finding the right fit for the client. And, I was talking to another consultant that's working on this project. She said, well, you're going to be giving away a client. And I said, yeah, but I'm an accountant and I'm a consultant and I want what's best for my client. And sometimes that means that that's not me. And so my job, she hired me to find the best solution. Yep. And I'm not sure. I mean, we could meet with her tomorrow and it could be totally wrong, but that's what she hired me for. So sometimes it's not, I'm not the right one maybe, but my job is to find the right solution. I think I did that. So it was kind of interesting. And I'm excited about it. So
I agree. And so today's topic, I'm going to go ahead and talking about today's topic is all about 1099s.
Yep.
And so being able to, universally share as accounting and bookkeeping firms, we have to prep for 1099s and then we have to process 1099s. And some of that is client collaboration. So today with that part in mind is Client Hub. So we are absolutely thrilled to have Judy here today with us to help us with that piece of client collaboration.
Absolutely. So I can't wait to get in. I'm a huge lover of Client Hub, so I can't wait till everybody else can see it.
Right.
They're going to get excited as I was when I started using it. So our agenda today is, we've already welcomed you, probably went a little past that, but we love you guys. We love to talk. We're going to talk about preparing 1099s with QuickBooks Online first. So QuickBooks Online is an app, right? It's definitely an app. So we're going to take a look at what is that functionality in QBO first. And then we're going to take a look at 2 other 1099 apps that both of us have worked with. And we're going to kind of compare and contrast and kind of show you, give you some information about those apps that you can use to prepare 1099s and beyond. So they also allow you to prepare other forms like W-2s and things like that. Then we're going to raise a toast and have an awesome demo and conversation with Judy from Client Hub. And then we're going to talk about the coolest thing we did this month. So a couple of little housekeeping items, and we'll go over this again later. Please do like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's how you're going to find out about new things that we're going to be doing in the future and be able to view pictures and other things that we've done last week. So you have our Twitter handle there, our Facebook page. Join our Appy Hour Lounge Facebook group. We have a Facebook group too. Love to have you in there, and then definitely register for the monthly webinar. So if you are joining us via Facebook Live, which I think if quite a few of you are, you can register for our Zoom broadcast, and that way you'll get reminders every month before we have our show. And then just a huge thank you. So are we ready?
Oh my gosh, let's dive in because we've got
because we have a lot
minutes to fly through a lot of content.
We certainly do. We certainly do. So we're first going to talk about preparing 1099s with QuickBooks Online. So we're going to go through the 1099 wizard. We're talking about, excluded payments, what payments are excluded. But first of all, I want to talk about just some quick facts, just some high-level facts that you may or may not know about the 1099 service in QBO. So you can prepare Forms 1099 in all subscription levels of QuickBooks now. That was not the case before. So it used to be that you could only prepare 1099s in QuickBooks Online Plus. I had been hearing that you could do it in all subscription levels, but for me, I had to actually go start a simple start account and say, yes, I can actually do this. And yes, you can actually do that. So it's in all subscription levels of QBO now. You can print and mail the forms for no additional fee. So you don't have to pay for the e-file service. If you are a print and mail person, you can do that. You just have to pay for the pre-printed forms. The cost is about $15. That includes 3 forms plus about $4 per additional form, up to 20, and then all forms beyond that are no additional charge. Prior, you do get a discount. So if you file your 1099s prior to January 17th, you get a discount. It doesn't have any tin matching at this time, but we're going to show you both the apps that we're going to show you after we talk about QBO do have tin matching services. So you'll be able to take advantage of those prior to your filing time. And then if you use Intuit Online Payroll for accounting professionals, the IOP4A. That's kind of fun to say. It sounds like a chant, doesn't it? IOP4A. Maybe not.
Only you, Heather.
Only me. All right. Okay. You can file multiple clients for $15 per client, and that includes unlimited forms. And you can add 1099 only clients. So if you have clients that you're running payroll for in IOP4A, you can set up 1099 only clients to do that. So you could totally do that. Right. Christy says, YMCA. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did. I don't think this song was quite
that's a challenge. I'm going to have to come up with IOP4A like that. And then, yeah, we'll do that sometime. All right. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm full disclosure here. I stole these screenshots actually from the knowledge base article, which is super informative and has like tons of information that you're going to need to know. Like, for example, there's some interesting things that you have to know about excluded payments. So when you're recording payments to your vendors, we all know that you only have to file Forms 1099 or include payments that were paid in check or ACH, right? If they were paid via a third-party payment processor, Visa, MasterCard, whatever, you don't have to include those payments in the 1099 forms. So in QuickBooks, when your reference numbers are actually going to tell QuickBooks whether or not those payments should be included or not. And so the knowledge base article, and I'll post the link in a little bit, unless it could be that Liz is already on that for me. There's actually a little area that talks about the excluded payments, and it tells you exactly what wording or what letters or whatever you put in that reference field will cause a payment to be excluded. And that's important to keep, to pay attention to, and also to understand, so that when you're running your 1099 reports in QuickBooks Online, if it doesn't look right, and we know, we're all accountants, we're bookkeepers, we're looking at it like, that's not right, that you'll know how to go and fix it to correct the amount in QuickBooks for the 1099s. So I'm just going to walk you through the process to get started. So you're going to click on first of all, what you're going to do, and actually let me just let's go into the contractor tab. So you're going to start, your whole thing that's going to happen over here is you're going to start on the worker tab. So that new worker tab that just magically appeared last spring, you're going to click on that. And then you're going to click on the contractors tab right over here, and you're going to click prepare 1099s. And yes, I know that there's also a prepare 1099s button on the vendor page. It's also there too. So either one will work.
Right. And I like it that it's both places. And I'm going to even throw this in here too, because somebody had said, why this instead of one of the other apps? And the reason is it's kind of depends on where your client is. And if your client only has a few, it feels like it's really handy to be able to use the QBO 1099 service, which is what I've done in the past. Now, if they have a bunch, then it's really nice to export all of that data and then use a service, especially those contractors where you've got to go out and tin match.
Right. Absolutely. So we're going to click prepare 1099s, and it's going to launch the 1099 wizard. You're just going to click let's get started, which was that screen that I just showed you. It's going to have you review your company information. If everything looks all right, you'll click save, and then you're going to go in, and yes, I know, let's change this to something. Let's see if we can trick it so that it leaves me alone. No, all right, maybe if I change this to 5-1. There you go, look at that.
I did like the 0-0. It's like our employee trick that we do for
right.
the social security number, so that way you can process payroll today.
Yeah, we all have those tricks, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then I have to map. So I have to map the accounts to the boxes in the 1099. So I would just go through that process, just check the box, and then you would just go in, and you can even just type in the account. It looks like I don't have an account, which is why it was in here. But I could also scroll down and find the account that I want to map to the 1099 box. Okay, so once I'm done with the mapping, then I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then I'm going to review the contractor information. So this is where it's going to show me the contractor information. I'm going to see the tax ID. If I need to make any edits here, I can do that. And I can also add additional vendors right here from the add vendor list. So, you know, say Christina actually should have been included. I can just click on her and click save. And then it's going to warn me that I have no, you know, I don't have a tax ID for her. And then I could go out here and I could click the edit button. That's actually going to launch. Oh, it's not. I have to go into the vendor page. Okay, so here's a tip. So this is going to ask me to add her as a contractor to send her an invitation. You can do that, and what it will do is it'll invite Christina to set up a new QuickBooks Self-Employed account, or you can get out of the screen and go into the vendor screen and set it up manually, which is what I would do. But that's just me, right? So totally up to you. Then you're going to click next.
We just got a question from Sarah who asked, how does it handle addresses with multiple lines? And what I'm going to say is that, yes, it handles multiple lines, but what I've done before was come through and make sure I did a test print, so that way I could verify that it's going to fit inside of the envelope window.
Right. So next thing that's going to happen is it's going to show me, and I don't have any data here, I probably should have checked that first, but I do have a screenshot for you, is the contract will be listed here, and then we'll have the total, the excluded, and all payments. I can also print a handy dandy print information sheet here. And if there's an excluded amount, this is where I can click and view those transactions. And that's where those reference numbers are going to come in, right? So if I see an excluded amount, I'm like, I should not have any excluded amounts. It could be because I have some kind of, letters or something in the reference number that is causing it to be excluded. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and click finish preparing, and then it's time to go to the e-file service, or you can just go ahead and print. And so right now, if you come to the screen, you can purchase a 1099 kit and then order that from Intuit, and they'll send you some paper 1099s. If you're done with that, then you're all going to do is you're just going to print them out and mail them, right? But if you want to use the e-file service, I have some slides on that. So let's go take a peek at those.
Which whenever I'm using the QBO 299 service, I just print on the paper, and it puts all the form information, and then all you have is an extra piece of paper. So no big deal. It's super cheap, super easy.
Yep.
And I even will help, walk my clients through, like do a Zoom, and then that way they can print them that day.
Right.
So it's probably the easiest, fastest way.
So with the e-file service, there's a fee, and we talked about that earlier. You would go ahead and select, review your information here. You would go ahead and put in your payment information, and then you have to decide how you want to give the contractors, if you want to give the contractors online access. So if you give them access to the 1099s, they'll be able to go out and grab them and download them, or you can have them mailed. And if they mail them, then Intuit will send them to, Intuit will print them and mail them on your behalf via first-class mail. And just keep in mind that you have to do this a couple days before the actual filing deadline, right? So it's saying here January 27th, and it will let you know. You have to pay attention to that, because if you don't file by that date, you really need to print them out yourself and mail them, or they're going to be late. Then you can go ahead and check the email addresses for your contractors, and then you're going to go ahead and either you can view the forms or submit the final forms. And then, congratulations, you have submitted your 1099 to the IRS. So that's in a nutshell, that is the 1099 e-file service through QBO.
And there's a couple of questions here. So what's the difference between using the pre-printed forms and the paper forms? Really is just, what do you want your client to end up getting? And so is your client fine with sending out the paper copy? Most are. They just really don't think there's a big difference. Traditionally they had the perforated lines on it, and the front of it is the 1099, the back of it is all the instructions. And so if you want to have that pre-printed form, then you can order those. The same thing as ordering it from the IRS or any of those services.
Right.
That's the big difference there. And then does the 1099 process work the same for QuickBooks Enterprise? So this is the desktop process, or the QuickBooks Online process. The desktop process with the wizard has a similar walkthrough, but there's definitely some variations there.
There are some differences there. You can e-file. The e-file service is available through the desktop, but
because QuickBooks Online is in your browser, of course, it's going to submit those faster. It's going to work a little quicker and submit those.
Right. So that's it. That's our 1099s in a nutshell. The next what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of apps, and I'm going to go through this pretty quickly and just kind of talk about. We'll talk about the differences. I'm going to talk about eFile for Biz, which is a product that's brought to you by ComplyRight, and it does not only 1099s, but it also does ACA forms, 1042s, and then there's other options such as the TIN matching service. So. They do have a lot of options. They integrate with desktop, Excel, QuickBooks Online, and Xero. So those are your options for filing with eFile for Biz. You know me, I'm a QBO girl all the way. Woohoo! All right, so 5 easy steps. You just create your account, you set up your payer records, you set up your recipient records, you fill out the forms, and then review and complete you review and submit your completed forms. So unlike the QBO product where it's actually pulling the amounts from your data, your QuickBooks data, I think both of these apps, they don't actually pull data, amount data. I know eFile for Biz does not. So it just pulls out, it populates the payer information and the payee information, and then you would need to add the amounts manually to those forms. So this is what their screen looks like. And I actually have a test company, so let me just go in and I'll just do a very, very quick demo. Log me out. I won't do a quick demo because I don't have time to sign back in. So good thing I have screenshots. So as I mentioned, it integrates with Excel, QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, and Xero. Now there's a big difference in the integration with Desktop and Excel than QuickBooks Online and Xero. So with Excel, you're downloading a template and then you're populating that. I'll show you that in a minute. With QuickBooks Desktop, you're going to be downloading a tool that then integrates with your QuickBooks Desktop data, and it'll allow you to export your 1099 data to an Excel spreadsheet. And then in both cases with Excel and the QuickBooks Desktop, you actually manually import that data via the Excel spreadsheet into eFile for Biz. And that's what populates your payee and your payer and your payee information. So with QuickBooks Online and Xero, it's a little different. So it directly connects because it's SaaS and it's cloud-based. It connects directly through that OAuth, and it's able to just kind of suck the information through the API into eFile for Biz, which makes it a whole lot easier. So it's a lot faster. It's more seamless. That was definitely when I tested it. It was definitely an easier process, but the desktop process wasn't hard. So it was just a matter of installing a simple plugin, and then you just complete the process through QuickBooks Desktop. So this is the Excel worksheet. So you would download the template, populate it, and then you'd upload it into eFile for Biz. You would install the tool or the plugin that goes into QuickBooks Desktop, and then what you would do is you would go to that company menu, click on the Excel upload, and then with QuickBooks Online, you would just click to connect, and you do that lovely OAuth authorization, and then bam, your information would be imported. So once it's imported, you can file all your 1099s for all your clients from one dashboard, which is really nice. So you'll see over here on this screen, we have 82 payers, we have 504 recipients. So I can actually view by payer, and then file each client's 1099s, 1042s, whatever, in batches, rather than having to switch in and out with QBO. You can switch in and out of each QBO company as you file them. Here, it's all in one dashboard, which is really nice. I like that a lot. So this is the screen where you'd actually start filing those 1099s. So when I go to the filing center and I click new filings right up here, I would select the form I want to file, click the button, and then I would select the payer. And remember, the payer and the recipient are going to be automatically imported or they were uploaded, right? So they will be listed in these drop downs here. And then I would just need to fill in the amounts for each of the boxes in the form. Okay. When I'm ready to file the forms, I can go to the forms in progress and I can view them for each recipient. I can generate a totals report and a summary report that will tell me, for my check. So when I go in and compare it to my ledger or my general ledger program, I can do that. It's really nice. And then I'm going to select a filing option. And we have e-file and delivery or e-file only. So the delivery means they're going to mail them to the recipients. The e-file is just going to e-file it for you. You would add the forms that you want to actually file to your cart, and then at that point you would go ahead and do the checkout process. Okay, once you filed the forms, then you can go back and you can view the filed forms. You can file a correction, which was really nice. If somebody, it happens, right? Every time.
Oh my gosh, it just does. We wait
somebody just something happens, and so you can go in and easily create a correction in eFile for Biz.
In fact, I love it that you just showed this as part of the workflow, because we know it's going to happen.
We know it's going to happen, right? And I think, eFile for Biz is doing a webinar on CPA Academy. I'm not sure if it's this month or early next month. And they're going to be talking about the changes to the laws in 1099. So you can check that out. Free CPE, right?
Yep, that's fantastic.
All right, I'm going to hand it over to you. Are you demoing, or you want me to click through slides, or you want to share your screen? What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to share my screen, so that way I can just go at my pace. And so I don't have the show my screen yet. And share. Okay, so you should be seeing me now.
I can. We can see it.
Fantastic. So in the chat, we were talking about, what tools that we use. And so Tax 1099 is what we use. And with any of the different tools, because of course, the IOP 4, whatever you called it, 4A.
IOP
4A.
Intuit Online Payroll for Accountants. I'm just going to say it that way. So, we use that platform. We use the QBO platform for 1099s. We've used Tax 1099, and that's probably our preferred place, only because you're able to use that one tool to gather up all of the data, and you can suck it in via the Excel sheet, or you can connect it directly to your desktop or to your QuickBooks Online files. So I love that the first year is a lot of work. The second year and beyond, the data is already there. And so maybe you have a few tweaks to the vendors. Maybe they've changed locations. But for the most part, you log back in the next year, and there you can see all of your clients. And the vendors that they used last year are most often, at least 50% of the time, going to be the same vendors that they use the next year.
Right. And we were talking about in QBO that you have to watch how you format those addresses for the vendor. So and the same thing is true actually when you're using these apps, because really they're extracting the same fields from the vendor card or vendor profile in QuickBooks Online. So you do when you first use it, you'll need to kind of acclimate to the formatting. So the first time you do that import, it might not look right. You can go back and fix it in QuickBooks and then sync again, or you can just update it in one of the tools.
Update it in one of the tools. Yep. And I really like that when you're on the Tax 1099 website, it's easy to be able to see how much it's going to cost you. So one of the things that was my favorite piece that they've added this year is this calculator. And so this calculator is amazing. I was able to go through, open the calculator and say how many 1099s I thought that we were going to process, and then how many 10 matches did we need to do. Because again, we did 10 matches, in prior years. So not every single one of the vendors is going to be brand new. So we don't need to do as many 10 matches as we need to do filing of 1099s.
Right.
So I absolutely love that the calculator's on there. It makes it really easy to calculate how much you're going to spend that year.
And eFile for Biz actually has something similar to that, where you can put in the number of forms that you're going to file. It will tell you what it will cost as well.
Absolutely. It's nice. It's nice to be able to have an idea.
Definitely.
And that helps you with, whether you're pricing your clients based on bulk, or you have a minimum that you require your client to pay for that 1099 service.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about value pricing, one of the things that we've done is we've now included the TIN matching is part of our fee for our services. So
Yeah.
if they're going to use us as their 1099 processor, then we are going to require to have the TIN matching. So being able to bulk import and do the TIN matching, and then the address validation, I'm sure that this is the same thing in the one that you use, Heather, but Tax 1099, at the time that the address is entered, it actually asks you right then to validate it. And so you get variations on addresses. So it's a nice little step.
That is nice.
Just comes in. And then being able to create those forms. So I want to be able to talk to one of the questions that we had, which is, can you create a 1096? And so up here in the forms, what would you like to do? Inside of Tax 1099, you actually can create a 1096, which is one of those things that we all love to be able to see. we save that as part of the data file. So you can actually have a 1096 inside of Tax 1099.
Right. And that is important. Everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that. They do. I mean,
it's a forgotten. You feel kind of bad for the 1096 when they don't include it. It's part of the whole. Yeah.
The little form was left out.
I know.
Well, now it doesn't have to be.
The little form that could. The little transmittal form.
Oh my gosh. And then, I'm going to throw this in there, talking about stacking the different PDF files. What we use is PDF Factory to be able to create that file and stack those different documents. So that way, whenever we store it in our Smart Vault, we've got one file that contains the 1096, that contains all of the 1099s for the client and for the vendor. And then also we save the report to be able to verify back to the accounting system. So for us, PDF Factory, I think, is $50 and you own it. So it's a nice little handy tool. But again, just like Heather showed, also Tax 1099 has a bulk importer, so you're able to import data quickly. And then selecting your forms. So here you're able to say, when do I want to schedule out my forms? When do I want to be able to share that with the IRS? And again, we do the exact same thing. We wait to the very, very possible last date. And so inside of Tax 1099, it will go ahead and tell you when the next possible date that it can go ahead and e-file for you, or you can go ahead and schedule it. So maybe you have a reason that you're waiting to send that batch, but you get to pick the date to upload. And then again, being able to save all of our forms in one place. So you're able to download all of the PDFs and save them into whatever type of folder that you're using to securely share and save those documents. The other thing that I love about Client Hub is yesterday, Judy and I were having this conversation about ways that Client Hub can be used. And right now, while we're prepping for the 1099 season, it's really nice to be able to think about workflows that can help us with quickly being able to say now to our clients, have you received all of the W-9s that you should? And that way we can do the 10 mapping beforehand. So whatever tool it is that you're using, a free service or one of these apps, if you have that W-9 now, you can actually do the 10 mapping now.
Right.
So the fun thing is we were able to really quickly, Judy and I yesterday, do this new resource. So we were able to say to our client, this is the accountant view, but our client would have the resource here and they'd be able to have that form W-9 handy. So that way they don't have to email and ask us for a new, this year's 2018's blank W-9. Now they can just have it in their resources. And then also being able to create these tasked items. And so being able to have a tracked item, we can say, have you done this yet for us? And we're able to track that. So I don't want to give too much away about Client Hub.
I'm so excited
stop there. And I'm going to say that this drink.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. This is so much fun. So this drink
bugs.
is
Anybody
the
else?
Quiet Hub Mule.
Did anybody on the call make the drink? Because it is, I'm guessing now. It's so good.
It is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to have to share this.
And thank you for the mugs, Judy. Judy gave us these mugs at QuickBooks Connect last week.
Last week?
Yes.
It's like they're running away from me.
Talking about being able to recover.
Yeah.
All right, so we did. We got our beautiful mug that I told Judy that she's got to hold that up next to her hair because it just
right.
I know, it was like color coordinated. But okay, so I made a whole jar of it. And the thing that I think is so fabulous about this drink is how gorgeous it is. It looks like a party. So,
and Liz, you're going to be on the floor by the end of the night. You drink all that.
I had to put it in there because then I put it in my glass and I wanted to make sure that
right. You're going to have to share. You're going to have a party. You're going to have to call people and say, I have all of this Moscow Mary Mule.
Well, I've learned to not have client appointments after Appy hour because they don't go well.
And it's a client hub Mary Mule.
It's a client hub Mary Mule. Yes, absolutely. And it's absolutely delicious.
Like it's for a party.
It is really good. Yeah.
And
it's so good. And it has
I have to show this other thing that I made. So this is cranberries because I took my fresh cranberries and I made just a little snack with some almond bark. It's
yummy.
The sweet and the sour.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
It is. It's so fantastic. So
and
here's the recipe.
So I want to tell people what's in it. Oh, you have it. Okay. She just did that. There you go. You were reading my mind again, Liz.
I love that.
And she's like, here you go. It's so good. It's so good.
It really is. Ginger beer. I've never had ginger beer. So whenever I was putting it into my jar, I was looking at it going, man, the color of the ginger beer is gorgeous. And then vodka, who doesn't love vodka? But the cranberry apple juice, that just got a really nice bright flavor to it.
We forgot our Heather.
We did. We're having ours. I do have my cranberries in there, but I'm a little afraid to crunch one and then take a sip. Although I think that might be
cranberry vodka.
You have the cranberry vodka.
Yeah.
So you're covered. You're covered.
Yes.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to see what happens.
I'm going to say, of all of the drinks that we've made, this is the one that I think that you should serve at your Thanksgiving or Christmas party. It's phenomenal. I don't feel like I'm drinking a whole lot of alcohol either.
It's so good. The ginger beer, and now I can taste it with the cranberry because I just ate a cranberry.
Good job.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So make sure you tip the ginger beer back and forth before opening. Oh, to mix it up. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shake it up. Okay. So, Judy, would you like for us to be your slide deck driver, or would you like us to pass presenter to you?
Well, I think you better drive. I've been drinking.
Did you not see my jar?
Oh, and I have to drive home from the office after this. So I got about a 40-minute drive. I better take it easy.
So you have to take it easy on the tip and back.
I do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, by the way, talking about 1099s, I want to say, so I use Track 1099, have for years. I think it's a really, really great application as well. So again, it's similar to Tax 1099. And, but yeah, we use it, file lots of 1099. So now I can talk about Client Hub.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. So Client Hub, we are a client experience platform for accounting professionals. I'm wondering if anybody on this call has never heard about us, because I'm looking at all these names on the chat. And hi, Eileen. Hi, Christine. Hi. I got to see who else we have here. Jonathan. Everybody, all those people. So Client Hub. We are a simple, secure, and awesome client interaction. So we are the answer to getting rid of email. Can you imagine ridding yourself of all that clutter in your inbox? And this is not, I didn't just make this up. It actually really, really happens that you can do that. So, so go ahead. You can switch to the next slide. I have to kind of move things around here because I'm looking at two different monitors. Awesome. So I thought it was really important before we begin and Liz, you didn't introduce me, but that's okay. So for anybody out there who doesn't know me, my name is Judy McCarthy. I'm the co-founder of Client Hub, but I'm a 20-year QuickBooks Pro advisor and accounting professional, still practicing because, like you all, I just can't get it right. And so Client Hub was designed really to solve pain points in my firm. It just, it was really, there was no other solution out there to solve some of these pain points. So I had the great opportunity to meet my business partner, Samir Khalsa, and many of you know Samir. He's a 14-year veteran of Intuit. He managed the advisory council, the accountants council. He worked on the Pro Advisor program. He created a lot of the great features that we know of in QuickBooks, like client data review. Yay! So we have partnered up to create Client Hub, and I think we've really delivered a great product here. So I think it's important for people that come into Client Hub to really understand our mission and our values, because I think they're a lot different than a lot of software developers. We are part of the community. And so that really helps us to understand the needs and really relate and communicate with those people. But we're really dedicated to building a great product. We're devoted to the success, as you can see, of our team and our customers. But I think for me, the most important thing is our philosophy. We're going to keep it simple and really make a difference and have fun. And Client Hub, the thing that I try to tell people all the time is it really is simple. So many times I hear accountants say, "Oh, when I get a chance, I just can't take anything on new. When I get a chance, I'll try it out." And I'm like, in 10 minutes, you can have Client Hub set up and be fully engaged with your clients with it. So with that said, we can go ahead to the next screen.
So here's your introduction slide. All that I'm going to say, since you didn't introduce yourself, is I am just going to expand on, you are one of our friends. And I love it that you see the names inside of all of the attendees and you're able to look at them and know those people and know those faces. And we're excited for you. And we want to see your success. We are thrilled that you came up with an app to solve a lot of these problems that we are feeling. And that's, I'm really excited about the next couple of screens where you're able to show where those pain points are and how Client Hub can fix that.
Yeah. And it is really important. It's funny, we were at QuickBooks Connect and the guy at the booth next to me, after about a day and a half, he looked at me and he said, "Who are you?" He said, everybody walking through this,
right?
Everybody's coming up and giving me hugs and kisses and saying hello. So,
well, and you came from a different world as far as most of the technology developers. Instead of being an outsider coming in, you were an insider who solved a problem.
An insider going out. Oh, no.
No, an insider who expanded.
Right.
You whenever somebody asks me who you are, I'm like, she literally wrote the book on Bill.com.
Yeah.
Literally.
I don't have one with me. Wrong commercial.
That's okay. We all know you. You mean to go to the next slide?
Sure, because I can't remember what it says. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are an all-in-one workspace. So we're a collaborative workspace with our brand new mobile app, which is really, really exciting because this was the number one ask from our user base was, "Hey, do you have a mobile app?" And I think it was probably, if we had any roadblocks to people adopting, was that we didn't have a mobile app. So now we do. And we're going to go to the next slide.
Okay, but look how cute this is. Do you see these little radio dials that say to your client yes or no or not sure?
I mean, they can't get the answer wrong.
I know. It's like they can do it on the fly. I absolutely love this app and those little radio dials for answering client questions.
So we have what we call our 5 points of value. So what is the value behind Client Hub and how can it help you, your firm, and your clients? So the first one is getting client responses quickly and securely. We all know what that pain is. You can go to the next slide. And we solve that with one of our features. It's called tracked items. So I blurred out all the other features just to bring our attention here. So tracked items, this is how we can request that information from our clients, assign them for tasks, request files, and keep track of it. But best of all, as an accountant, I'm on the same page with the rest of my team because we all have access to this workspace, and the client has access to a workspace too, so they're on the same page as us. Isn't that great? How many times have you had, you send an email to a client and you need 4 things and they respond with 3? What happens to that 4th one? It just goes out to Never Never Land.
Right.
And
in fact, we even have this like discussion internally where we're like, okay, so this is this client and we know they can only handle one thing at a time. So we have to like spoon feed it. Where here, these tracked items, if it's not done, it's going to be a different color. It's in this red or orange color.
Right. We have really great color coding here except for those who are colorblind. But the orange means it's something we're still waiting on an answer. The client would see the same thing. Orange is something that we're waiting for them. Blue means that they have responded. We have the option to either comment or accept that. Once we review their answer, we can say, yes, we're satisfied with it. If we're not satisfied, we can say no. It leaves that tracked item open and we can add a comment as well. And this all happens and updates instantly on the mobile app, the web app, and on the client workspace. And as you can see over on the right-hand side there, where it says new tracked items. So those are the tracked item types, and they're very specific, as you mentioned, Liz, that we can ask them, we can assign them something like a to-do. We can ask them a yes or no question, because who needs 5-paragraph explanation as to did they buy coffee at Starbucks for an office meeting? I don't need 5 paragraphs. I just need a yes or no, or I don't know.
Or I don't know.
They're more likely to respond, right? So
they are if we make it
easier. They just have to click a button rather than actually typing something in.
Right. Yeah. Now, I also want to point out that with this and one of the other features we'll talk about in a minute is there is the option by default. The clients will get email notifications. It's not a one-on-one, so it's email notifications come every 20 minutes, and they're a digest. So if you are requesting 3 or 4 things at the end of the month, and you do it all at once, the client will receive 1 email. Or if they're using our mobile app, they'll get those instant pop-up notifications, which is great. They can respond right on the fly.
And I'm going to say, as a new user to Client Hub, one of the things that I was relieved to see is how simple this was to set up these tracked items. So what we're looking at right now is the workspace inside of Client Hub. For those of you who haven't started using it already, let me just point out that this right here, this new tracked item, that's where you go on the workspace. So it looks like this when you log into it, and you have the new tracked work item and this little window that pops up right here to be able to say, what is it that you want to do? And then create these little radio dials. It really is that simple. So I love it that you've created something very simple of tracked items and to do and collaboration. That's not easy to do. So Judy, well done.
Yeah, and so also just as a reminder, so we're looking right now at the accountant version. At the end of the deck, I do show you the client version, which looks very similar. Clients cannot create tracked items. This is something for us to create, and we're requesting information from our clients. And I also can share with our listeners that we are in the process very soon of releasing a new feature which allows you to create tracked item templates. So if you need, say, you have an onboarding process, or you have, the same things you request from a client every month, you can just create a template and then deploy that each time you need to use that template. So don't tell Samira I told you.
Okay, we'll keep it a really big secret. Not live or anything.
Yeah. Hurry up, get that released.
No pressure now.
Yeah, really. So point of value number 2 is eliminating communication silos. So we can go to the next one here. And we have conversations. Again, conversations are available in both the mobile app and on the web-based version. And it's like Slack. So most of us here, maybe we use Slack internally. But this is a way to communicate with our clients outside of email. Now, those silos could be situations where, maybe the bookkeeper emails the client and copies me, and then the client doesn't hit respond all, and suddenly I'm out of the loop. I don't know what's going on. Or even worse, I don't need to be copied on everything going out to the clients. That absolutely drives me nuts. I get enough emails. So we can communicate with our clients right here within the conversation panel. This follows that same email rule as the tracked items. So we have those 20-minute intervals or those pop-up messages on the mobile app. But it's just so great for you to be able to, your clients just pop right into their workspace. If they have a question, They can post it. Whoever has access to this workspace can quickly answer the client inquiries. Last week, I was at QuickBooks Connect, and I told this story about scaling new heights. I told everybody about account text. I received one client email. I was out of my office from Saturday until Friday morning.
That's amazing.
One client email.
Wow.
And that's because...
Well, it's changed the whole way that you talk to your clients. So now instead of having this email where, we all do it, where you have the intro to hello, so-and-so client, and then whatever it is in the body, and then a closing, you've eliminated that. So you're able to have a conversation in a Slack kind of environment, but that is searchable, that's work on your workspace, so you're able to do other things besides just have a conversation, which can in fact be tracked later and searched.
It's searchable. So we've got the little search icon up at the top there. And again, so for me, I'm out of the loop most days as far as our client accounting services go. So I can come in here, I can review through those messages. I can also review through all the tracked items and just kind of get a pulse of what's going on here. And you're right. This is the way we communicate now. As much as sometimes we don't like it, we don't communicate in written letters or written emails. It's all, short spurts of just getting the information that we need.
Just get the information.
Yeah, and that's it.
Judy, I have a couple of questions. Is this a good time to kind of throw them at you?
Sure. Let me get a drink.
So Eileen is saying that rumor has it that the communications can be specific to an individual within a client customer's company.
Oh, Eileen, where did you hear that? So it is not at this time. It is something that I believe our team is preparing for development to have. They would be actually individual user workspaces. So a user would have access to multiple workspaces. Yes.
Wow. And then Jonathan's asking, can customers get email notifications if they don't respond?
Good question. So on conversations, the answer is no.
But that's why you have tracked items.
Yes, that's why you have tracked items. So with tracked items, either from the, and you can't see it here, but it's that little orange button behind the phone. If you're looking at your clients aren't responding to your tracked items, you can click the Remind All button. And you can also do that from the tracked item dashboard, which is the third bullet point over on the left-hand side.
And it's color coordinated. So you're able to see you've got 3 of them here and only 2 of them are orange. So those are the ones that you would have a reminder set.
Right.
And this question, I think you kind of answered it. But Laura is asking, do the monthly to-dos, can you set up the monthly to-dos to the client to automatically recur when you set them up so that they just happen every month?
So the first version that comes out of this feature with templates, it will not be recurring. It will just be a template that you create and you would just have to go in and push that out. I know I'm hoping that we can get recurring in there. It's a little bit more on the development side, but at some point we'll be adding some other additions to that feature that I'm really not privy to discuss at this time. But I mean, hey, we're a SaaS application. We're always adding new things.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
And when you do announce it, you have to announce it first on the QB Appy Hour.
Okay. As long as we can have another drink.
Oh, we can
totally have another drink. As long as it's the same drink, because this is amazing.
Right?
This could be my favorite drink yet. This could be.
Isn't it fantastic? Like I feel like so this is what I'm going to have at my holiday party.
Right. No, I think I'm going to do the same thing.
Mule and my cranberries.
The Client Hub Merry Mule.
Yeah. And I can admit, by the way, I did mine with diet ginger beer, and it's really good.
Oh, well, that was so smart of you. I did not, and it's really good too.
Okay, so point of value number 3, we want to empower client self-service. Now, I know every firm isn't like this, but go ahead and switch the screen here. Yes. I don't want clients to be dependent on me. When they need to know what the balance is in their register or if a bill got paid, I want them to be empowered to go ahead and access those apps. But sometimes, and my funny story is the client that, called me one day and asked me if a bill had gotten paid. And I said, you can see that information in bill.com. And she said, I don't know how to get to bill.com. And I was like, okay, really?
Bill.com.
Yeah, bill.com. But we want to be able to empower clients. And also what you don't see here is the client has access to store their user credentials in a vault. Again, we'll see that on the last slide here. But we can also add links. So this is fully customizable for each client. We're not just stuck with links for QuickBooks, Receipt Bank, and Bill.com. You can add a link to any web URL. So if they need to order supplies from suppliers or their online banking, their credit card companies, I put a link in there for my Zoom meetings and also a link to my calendar. So if the client needs to schedule a time with me, they don't have to go searching back in my email.
Ooh, super smart.
Yeah, they just can go ahead and click right there. And, and then when we do have that meeting, I don't have to add the Zoom link. They just know to go to Zoom. And then the bottom part there, resources, this is where we can provide them. I call this the solution for Groundhog Day. So that is when the clients come back to you and ask for the same thing over and over and over again, like new employee forms.
Or what we were talking about earlier with the W-9.
The W-9, yeah.
So, yes, you can go search that, but it doesn't seem like sometimes our clients remember that. That's okay. Let's just put it down there in the resources area. That way they have it at their fingertips.
Right. So I do mostly training and implementation consulting. And so I'm building out my client hub to include the resource documents that I create for my clients so that they can find the manuals that I've created. They can find the links to the support articles from the different apps that we've onboarded for them. So it's been, I'm super excited to kind of roll this out to all of my clients, still in the development stage, but the potential is just amazing. And I love the Zoom link. I hadn't even thought of that. So I hadn't even thought of that. So I'm super excited about that.
Well, and with the apps piece, it seems like, I love our clients, but every once in a while we'll do a Zoom meeting and I'll watch them go out and search for QuickBooks Online. I'm like, why are you searching? And because their bookmark bar has disappeared, even though we bookmarked it, they're like, I don't know where my bookmark bar went. It got eaten. Where if they were working inside of a Client Hub dashboard or workspace, they would be able to have their apps right there, and QuickBooks Online would be one of them. So they wouldn't have to worry about their Chrome.
You just got another endorsement on Facebook. Todd Robinson of Arrow Cloud Bookkeeping said that he's using it and in the beginning stages of rolling it out to his clients. So
yay!
That was awesome.
We have to have a toast to that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm not halfway through my drink yet, so let's keep going.
Okay. So let's see. Where were we?
Client value number 4.
Client value number 4. I don't see the slide deck. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Point of value, streamline client interaction process. So you can go to the next screen. And so really, we talked about this before, is being able to really take a look and see what's going on within those clients and what's outstanding for those tracked items. And who doesn't love an aging report, right? We live for this stuff. And so we have an aging report from the tracked items dashboard that you can actually go in and see all of those outstanding items across all of your clients. You can see how long they've been outstanding, and then click those send reminder buttons. And this is one of my, part of my morning coffee routine. I've got a couple other things that I do, but one of them is going in. I look at the tracked item dashboard because I want to make sure my clients are being responsive to the bookkeepers, because they can't do their work without the client interaction. So, that's really, really important to me, that I don't want to get on them if they can't do the work. So we just really streamlined it, and we can get through it really quickly here, with the dashboard. So next slide, because I know we're running short on time. Point of value number 5, and this is the most important one. Please don't think that this is going to be really difficult and your clients won't like it, because you know what? Our clients have the same pain points that we do. They have cluttered inboxes. They're looking for a better way to communicate. They're looking for a way to keep track of all of those outstanding items. And your clients, this is probably, of all the things, Client Hub, this is the thing I don't ever hear about, is that my clients don't like it, or my clients are having a problem with it. They will absolutely love Client Hub. It is so easy. So you can go to the next slide. And so this is the client version of Client Hub. You can see it looks almost just like the accountants. We've added a couple added features here. So, of course, we've got our company name. The Client Hub workspace is fully branded with your firm logo, your company name, links to your social media sites, because we know how important that is for growing our businesses, right? We want people to be able to go over out and engage and share. But I talked about over on the right-hand side, those little key icons. That is where the clients can store their login credentials. We have a second level of security. I know security is always a question. So we are 256-bit encrypted, bank level encryption. Can't talk today. And then we have a second level of security that you can set up for that password vault, which allows you to add a 4-digit PIN and a custom timeout time. So that way, if you walk away from your desk, somebody can't just go away. Tell your clients, when you introduce them to Client Hub, tell them to add this to their start page on Google. So when they log in, they they go ahead and launch Google every morning, their workspace is the first page that they see, and they can launch out from everything right from here. And then the last thing is on the bottom there are the review links. These actually work, and I do not prompt my clients, but I was doing a demo a couple weeks ago, and I went to go demo what the link looks like, and I linked it and I looked, and I had another review on my Pro Advisor profile without prompting a client. I think that's the second or third time that's happened. And as accounting professionals, we just don't want to ask people to review us. And then I've had clients that have written reviews on Google and LinkedIn as well, just from seeing these. So, they like to check it out and, kind of see what happens when they click on links. They're not all afraid.
They do. Also, and we're always, I think, afraid to ask for reviews. I think that's one of the things that we struggle as accountants and bookkeepers to ask for those.
Yeah. And like I said, it really does work.
It does. And I have a checklist that I have an item on my checklist for my offboarding. So I do training is to do that, is to reach out. And I've actually done that with consultants that I've worked with on the same engagement as well. So if you work with a partner, it's maybe not your client, maybe it's a CPA, maybe it's another consultant that they're using. Ask them for a referral too. If you have a great working relationship, that can be really, really valuable to you on your Pro Advisor website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, and you can see, a lot of the comments that we get is, number one, it's simple, it's sexy.
It's sexy.
It's sexy. Okay. It's easy to look at. It's a lot prettier than, Intuit, QBOA work. A lot more functionality there.
It's different than Word.
It is different.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's different.
Yeah, it's more designed on the collaboration, not just around the transactional information. I didn't mention also, by the way, for those resources, the options are adding a resource. It can be a link to anything online or in a cloud folder somewhere, a link, a video, an image, and it can be a document. So if you're really stuck with your PDFs and your Word or Excel documents, your PowerPoints, you can put those up there as well. And I do the same as you do, Heather. We record all of our training, and we have lots of different procedures already written on the Think Leader site. So I might have to go ahead and put in Think Later there. So we go ahead and put that information. Yay, get a plug. We put that information right up here for our clients. We add it to our practice library, which you can do. You add it to your practice library, and then once it's in there, you can add it to one or all of the clients.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like giddy about the next slide.
Me too. And I have it all queued up.
I don't know what it is.
Share this on Facebook. I'm going to share it on Facebook.
Okay. I'm so excited.
What is it?
Well, okay. This feels like Heather and I are involved, and so
right, I know.
This is just beyond silly that I'm this excited.
Yay! I'm excited too.
50%
Can I
off.
share this on Facebook, Judy?
You can share this on Facebook.
I'm pressing the send button, so you guys can all find that code on Facebook.
Yeah. So go ahead, sign up at clienthub.app, of course. You're going to get your first 14 days free, so you can kick the tires. And then once you go ahead, you'll be prompted to enter your billing information. You can do it right away, or you can wait till day 13. It doesn't matter. When you do that, you want to enter that coupon code Appy Hour 2018, and we're going to give you 50% off your first 2 months. And that's a full features of Client Hub. That's all the features It doesn't matter if you're at and I didn't even put the pricing in here, silly me. It doesn't matter if you're at our $29 a month level, which $29 a month gets you 2 staff members and up to 10 client workspaces. You go to the next level and, oh my goodness, I can't remember. The pricing is $59. And I have to pull that up. You can see our pricing on client.
Yeah, I think if you go to 80, I think it's $99.
Exactly. And it goes down as low as $1 per client per month. And for anybody that says, oh, how do I pass that on to my clients? Or that's really expensive. $1 a client per month, really?
Right.
So, and that's part of our values too, is my commitment to our community to provide an affordable solution that really makes a difference in our firms. It really, really is. So share away, everybody sign up and start using Client Hub, and you'll get 50% off your first 2 months.
I know.
Judy, I got to tell you, I think it's so amazing that you saw this vision, you saw this need, and then you went out and you did it. Like, total kudos to you, because that takes a lot of guts, right? Determination. I mean, like, woo, like, honestly, hats off to you.
Well, thank you. And like I said,
it's a great product. I mean, it's amazing. It's a really great product. So,
I've got a great business partner. I've got a great, development team and our social media manager who just left the office about an hour ago. So I don't do it alone. It's a whole team effort. But
I don't think any of us do any of the stuff that we do completely alone. Even if we're a one firm team, then it still takes us plus the clients. So
right.
Plus our vendor partners. So
I think I heard the other day, I was watching the movie, and they were saying, if you want to go quickly, it was Walking Dead.
No, didn't Brad Smith say that?
Brad Smith said that.
Brad Smith said that last week.
Okay, so he said, if you want to go far, no. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so that was my Walking Dead quote.
Oh no, so are you, Heather? Oh goodness.
Or maybe you guys lost me.
Maybe we lost you. I don't know. I froze up too. So you missed the Walking Dead quote?
No, we heard it.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
Oh yeah, Heather just froze up. What is going on?
I don't know, but I'm going to skip towards our slides from our photo shoot, because we had so much fun at the Appy Hour. Oh, there she comes back. I think she's reloading her page.
I know. Something happened. I got frozen. Well, you guys got frozen. I felt like I was all alone.
Right? So you weren't going quickly alone. You were going nowhere by yourself.
I was going nowhere by myself.
It feels like that could be a message too.
It felt like The Walking Dead. I was.
Yeah. So I started flipping over to our photos, because we had so much fun, and we're like 8 minutes after that. Really, the big thing I want to say to our listeners right now is that we're thrilled that you were here with us, and thrilled that you got to hear Judy from Client Hub being able to share where she came into the market and was solving an issue that we're all having, which is this client collaboration. And then it was super fun to hug everybody's neck.
Right.
So the fun thing that Heather and I did this month with an app has been replaced with the fun thing Heather and I did this month.
With a whole bunch of apps, right? We were like, we did a whole, all the apps.
Which is wearing one of my
Before
apps
we dive into our pictures, I have to share this thing that just came through the chat from Mark. Mark says, I've been looking for this app for years now. Thanks for taking the time to develop it. I'm taking it to our leadership team on Thursday. I expect to sign up then.
Well, that's huge. So I think that Judy it was her turn to freeze Mark. So we may have to make sure that you two connect. Okay, so it looks like my teammates have froze, but I'm going to go ahead and go through some of this deck, because it was super, super fun to be there. And I love being able to hug so many people. And many of you were there at the...
He's probably on the Xbox and eating at my bandwidth now. So, because I said we were done at 5, and it's now after 5, so I'm guessing that I'm now competing with Xbox.
You probably won't win.
Yeah, but anyway, did you hear what I said? Did you guys hear what I said about the testimony? Or did you lose it? Did I lose you?
Which one?
So about what Mark said?
Yes,
Oh,
Mark.
good.
So Mark, if you're there, if you want a demo for your team, you need any help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly at Judy. It's Judie at clienthub.app.
Oh, look what I have.
Do you have one?
I have one.
I love it that we're always thinking the same thing.
I know. It's so exciting.
So one of the things that happened during the app showdown is somebody came up to me and said, I'm so sorry that I felt so bad for you at the very beginning whenever there was nobody in the crowd. And then they said, then I turned around and I looked and there was everybody. And so, I mean, that is kind of what happened, Heather. It's like we looked out and there was all these empty chairs. And within a couple of minutes of us just starting the show, that room filled up. And there was tons of these little flashy,
there were tons of them,
glowing like ice cubes inside of the Show Glow drinks.
Those are, they're so awesome.
And here we are being silly on the stage.
We were so excited to be there.
Okay, so this feels like this should be a drawing. Does anybody even know who this is?
I do.
I know you know. You can't share.
I won't share.
Does anybody else, like any of our viewers, know who this is?
He's kind of a hero. He has a cape.
Oh, he's super cool. Like, he's this super smart.
Yeah.
It's not Caleb.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's not Zach.
No. Mm-mm. And he's a cutie. I mean, he's cute.
He is. And he's
it's not Enrico.
Okay. No. Are y'all ready?
Okay.
I have all of my books just fell off my thing, but I have little Tishy drumsticks.
Okay. All right. It's Chronobooks Nate. It's Nate Tippy.
Nate.
Yeah, so he is the developer of Chronobooks.
And he's like 14.
I know, but he's so, like, that makes me like him even more because he's one of these smart kids that has came up with a solution, and he is holding his own in the market. Like, as far as some of the other competitors, Rewind and Backup Circle, Nate's just got it going on. He has made a accountant's program where we get half price. So for $5, you can back up a QuickBooks file, and I use it all the time. So connecting apps, I'm all the time, making sure I make a backup before I connect an app and maybe screw something up. So big superhero.
Cool.
But he recognized him, but couldn't think of his name. He's presented to the Austin Woodard Group. Oh, yeah. So
hey,
Nate.
Mike and I were zapping together at QuickBooks Connect.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, don't even get me started, Heather.
Getting zap happy.
Zap happy. And then we love Allison. Allison's in South Africa right now.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's everybody. That's everybody. Well, not everybody, but a lot of our.
Yeah, this was a lot of the top 10 showdown apps. So we have several of them that are here.
We have Flowless. We have the guys from
Chat AI is inside there.
Yeah, Chat is there, and then we have oh my gosh, it's gonna come to me. It's in the back file, my brain.
That's who you're thinking of.
Who is it?
ScanDisk.
Yes, ScanDisk. Flowless, Chat AI. Right. That's it.
Yep, and ScanDisk has got a lot of smarty pants there too.
They do. They have a lot of.
Oh yeah, that's Patrick.
Patrick from Veeam.
Yes.
And
that was super fun. I love that picture. Oh my gosh!
With the socks, I think they said that they sold or not sold out because they were giving away, but they ran out of swag after our Twitter.
People. That's right. They said they ran out of socks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Annie Terry on the left, and so she is was in charge of the $100,000 app showdown, and then we've got Kate Key on the right, and she
continues to partner with the apps.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Make sure that we get, and then here's another cutie, hottie, I guess we should say, from PayPie. So he designed a really awesome app that's able to help make sure that small businesses are prepared for a loan. So it helps them with, since there's not a true credit score for businesses, being able to make sure that they're in the perfect spot to be able to.
And then our winners, Vanessa and Regis.
Oh yeah, with their big check.
And they are the nicest people. Like, I love
Oh,
what
yeah.
their app is all about, but then
Yeah.
they are just, I mean, all of them were awesome, but they just awesome. I think the first time we met Regis, we both said that. We're like, what a good human being. Right?
Extraordinary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. You can tell why he went into a app development mindset of creating an app that makes small businesses social enterprises.
Yeah, totally.
So you get it from him. He's very compassionate and caring, and he really does have that giving heart.
He's amazing. Yeah.
And here's our flowless buddies, and here's you with our flowless buddy.
Right? That was fun. Those were fun pictures.
They were. And then our A2X buddies, so they're going to be on next month.
That's right.
So super fun team. They've got a lot of energy.
They do. Super smart.
Talk about energy.
Oh, Vanessa.
Vanessa.
I love Vanessa. She is like a ray of light that just everywhere she is, everything she does is just joyful.
Oh my
like I think that's the word. She's just super joyful.
Extraordinarily joyful. Yes, and always hugging. And locate inventory says Kylie. She's got an amazing personality. And her husband, that's her husband in the picture with her.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and then
that.
He's got a twin brother, and so over at the booth there's also the twin brother. And then his wife. So Kylie's
that's awesome.
Personality. She's pulled in the whole family. They're all
my dream seems to be getting stronger like as I move down.
Mine's getting empty.
Mine's getting empty, but it's also super strong. I'm like,
because they're easy to drink. And then there's our buddies from AudiMate, so they're in there too. So they.
Oh wait, did you advance the slide? I can't see your.
AudiMate's on one side and locate inventory.
Okay.
Stuff together, Heather.
They're the mates.
Yeah.
They're the mates.
Yep.
Locate and AudiMate. Did you do that on purpose? Did you say I need all of the apps that end with 8?
I didn't, but I think
were you hungry at the time?
Well, and AudiMate is the ones who won the Shark Tank that happens prior to the hackathon.
Got it.
So they were big winners there. Oh, and then
Laura.
We love Laura.
Oh, I love
and then
Laura.
Who didn't dance with the paycheck robot?
Oh my gosh, that was so awesome.
Okay.
Bring one home.
I loved it. And so T-sheets, we did this little dance with the T-sheet with the little robots. So I think you can see the little robots in the very, very
and then we snagged MB. We snagged MB. She was walking by and we literally grabbed her and said, come be in our picture.
So I think her face is saying, what did I just sign up for?
Exactly. Don't put this on social media.
But there it goes. And then Method.
Yeah, we got Rodrigo from Method. That was great. So I was on a roundtable discussion with he and Brad Clemenas and Laura Redman and Robin Hall and Rodrigo, and it was super fun.
Well, there was a lot of good connections that were happening there. And then this is from the App Showdown. So this is Bolt. So being able to payments powered by Bolt.
They did a great job.
They did do a nice job. Yeah, and that's Nick right there, which Heather and I, we nicknamed Nick Double Take.
Nick Double Take, that's right. Yeah, we sat on a bus with Nick, and I think he wasn't quite sure what to do with us. He seemed like a very proper English gentleman, and and then there was us.
We were so playful, and he was very English, and so it was like he would say things, and I think that he's got this like really funny, dry sense of humor. But I had to look at him to go, is he trying to say something negative?
I think he's I think he was just a super nice guy.
I really like
He definitely has that super dry sense of humor. And then during his presentation, during the showdown,
Whitehouse.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know why my brain couldn't do that. But anyway, she asked him about the cannabis industry.
Right.
And his answer was hysterical. It was so funny. He said something to the effect of, she said, are you guys supporting the cannabis industry? And his answer was like, well, maybe not the app. It was gold. It was gold.
It was great. I think that she had a great point, because there are several different accounting firms that are starting to have the niche of being green. And so
I like that.
That's a real issue, is being able to process those payments.
Yeah.
So what you can do with payments powered by Bolt is you could actually have those payments go through their app to be able to
Right. So you don't, yeah, definitely. And you set up your own landing page, and it's nice.
Yes. And they're friends with the auto entry people. So there's our auto entry buds.
I did my first auto entry implementation today.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Well, I finished it. I had started it, but I just finished it today, and it worked great.
So there's Richard.
I walked up on Richard, and he was handing this winner right here. I think her name was Audrey. He was handing Audrey cash because she had just won the Clock Shark cash because she was wearing a Clock Shark shirt.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I just happened to walk up on it. And so Richard with his animated arms, I was like, this is a picture moment. It was fun. Our buddies over at Gusto. And our Arrow buddies. And so I wore my Arrow shirt because of our Arrow buddies.
Yay.
And a sticker.
Talking about our people. There's Wendy.
There's Wendy.
And more of our people.
Brad.
Brad.
Yep, Brad. That was as close as I got to Brad. I think that other people got closer.
Oh, sorry. That happened to me. I got to go meet some of the speakers from the main stage. So that was super fun.
That's really
I'm super
cool.
shy though. So that was actually really excruciating for me.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm so shy that it was just like, hey, I'll smile. And so, yeah.
Well, you're not shy with our people.
And so this is a team. This team is an Intuit team, and they had an innovation. They created an innovation. And what it is it's automations inside QuickBooks Online called Quick Blocks. And you're going to be able to find and use these Quick Blocks in QuickBooks Lab in just a few weeks. So
cool.
I actually have the video. Alexa's saying I'm not shy. I can be shy if I don't know you, but I know you, Alexa, so I'm not shy with you. Anyway, so in 3 weeks or so, they said, go into QuickBooks Lab and look for quick blocks, and it's going to allow you to create automations using QuickBooks data. For example, you can set up an automation with QuickBooks that says when an invoice reaches 31 days past the invoice date, send an email to the client.
That's awesome. I love that automation.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So check that out for sure. And so, and Hector, who I saw for literally like 2 seconds. It was like, Hector, let's take a picture. And then he was gone.
Busy.
He was on his way to the airport.
Okay, I love this picture. I love this picture for several different reasons.
Seth and Jason.
No, that's Andy. Andy and Jason.
Jason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love this picture. I happened to be talking to them, and their jacket like kind of flew open. And when it did, it was like, what do you got in there? And then it was like, hey, what do you got in there? And so then I was like, okay, this is a picture moment. So that was fun. It was super fun.
I didn't even see you doing where was I when you were doing all of this?
Behind me.
I was behind you. I must have been talking to somebody. Maybe I was talking to Andrew Wall that was in that last picture.
And this is his Alice in Wonderland party where we're underneath a mushroom right here.
We are.
Yep. And so it's like, I want to have an Alice in Wonderland party.
And they were in front of what was that? Do you remember what car is that?
Okay, so this was Heather and I's version of, hey, look, we're in the car place.
Yeah.
And so you can't even tell what car we're in front of. It's just us in front of cars that happen to be really badass, but I don't know what they are.
They're Maseratis.
Oh, okay.
And we got Ferraris. Look at my Ferrari.
Oh, nice.
And it says Heather on it.
Okay.
See? It's upside down.
Pretty. Nice.
But really and truly, my favorite part is that it says my name.
Yes.
So. Well,
you don't know. I was so cool in my house. So my husband, that was awkward. My husband, I was thinking about my son and my husband at the same time, and somehow Dad got in there. But my son and my husband are really into cars. So I was like, I have a Ferrari with my name on it.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. Well, this is as close as I can ever get.
Fantastic.
So I know we ran long today, and I know that we were just a little self-indulgent with our photos, but thanks for those who stayed, because it was a fantastic time, and we love being able to be with those people in the community that we adore. And so hugging your necks, we have so many more photos, but we'll just have to end it here.
So Liz, I want to say that I'm jealous. I was stuck at the booth. This is the first year I've gone to Connect and not been able to walk around and say hi to everybody, but everybody stopped by the booth, but I didn't get to see all the stuff.
Everybody stopped by to say hi to you. Every time I walked past, there was like people at your booth.
Yeah.
So I think they were thrilled to be able to see you there in a successful booth space.
Well, thank you. And by the way, Michael, I set up a Zap so that when people sign up for Client Hub, I get a Zap into Slack. So I think you just signed up. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
So, everybody, please do like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. So we are definitely trying to kind of beef up our Twitter following so that we can let everybody know about us. So share away. Thank you so much for taking more than an hour out of your day. Thank you, Judy, so much. I love Client Hub so much. I think this was so needed in our industry, in our space. And so thank you for bringing it to us and for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me, really.
These awesome mugs.
I know. This is like forever going to be one of my treasures. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mine's empty.
Oh, well, if you were here with me, I would share not only more of the Client Hub mule drink, because I've got plenty, but I would also share the cranberries. So I would be sharing these too.
Looks good.
Yep.
So yes.
Do register for the monthly webinar on Zoom too. So if you register for the webinar, you should receive a reminder for our webinars every month. So our next month's webinar is, you have a slide for that, right?
There it is.
There it is. E-commerce part 2 with A2X. So in this episode, we're going to talk about PayPal. We're going to talk about Amazon and eBay and Etsy and those different marketplaces and different apps that will help you to automate that into QuickBooks. And then we're going to be joined by A2X, who has a really great solution for your Amazon clients.
Absolutely. So make sure to register, and we will be joining you next month.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, ladies.
Have a great night.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.